Hello everyone! How are we all doing today? Yeah, Jay, I'm with you on cold, mate. It's bloody freezing. Fucking bloody find a question mark. There we go. Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? Hello everyone. So, Sardenga, new turf. We've not had a race in 4 second new track on the calendar. 10 races. We're approaching the halfway stage of the championship as well. So it's starting to get just a bit exciting. We're just about ready for qualifying then, here in the Sardinian Mountains. Expecting times around about the 1:19 seed fastest time currently set by Brian. Wouldn't it be interesting if he could pull out a win? Ariel here as well. Let's have a quick look at the standings. Sorry, they've not actually been updated, but I believe Ariel still leads. So as everyone piles out, 12-man grid. No, not cold balls, mate. There's Ariel, and I think it's just Phil left to leave. Did he create some space for himself? Anyway, Brian leads everyone out then. First time through this track. The elevation change around here is quite interesting. See, there's massive camber around there. It means there is opportunities for moves around the outside. Just thinking, it is going to be quite an interesting race. Qualifying, so there's so much time that can be gained around here. The track is so wide, you're always able to push it. You see Jay just dipping a wheel onto the gravel there, but look how close this train is. I think Zen might want to try and get himself past Brian quickly, but a lot of times with the camber on a lot of the turns, you're almost racing sideways. So as they come through the final 2 turns, be careful of track limits for you. You can really push it. Saw some people go onto the grass front. There's Brian going into the mediums. JD's on the mediums, Zen's on the soft. So JD trying to get a warm up on the mediums maybe, but Brian definitely looking to start on the mediums then. Zen was following to get a bit of a toe up towards turn 1. Again, huge camber for this sort of track, because then up through the S's, through turn 4 we go. Onto the infield, onto the more road than street course. Turn 5 tight heaven. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities around here as well. Turn 1, the final 2 turns. Through here, turn 6. I think it was turn 9. The right-hander at the end of this little straight. Long way downhill, we're going to sweep up and look. It's just a beautiful setting for a race as well. Zen, I think he's only won one race. He might have won last time. I was JD really wide. That's going to actually hamper. He tries to get out of the way and Sick tries to go the wrong way, and that's misjudges where JD was going. That's going to be an issue, and I think they're Sick as well. Yeah, making a mistake further back. So Zen, so far, the only one we've seen have a solidly clean lap through the final 2 turns. I need to get it right. They're in 4th, really try and swing it in, gain as much time as he can on the throttle, be really ballsy up towards the line then for Zen. Benchmark lap time, a 19.5. What can Joe do? He was caught behind traffic at 19.9. This is not going to be representative for Sig. Fridge is a long way off, a 22.1 into the pit lane. I think that was JD. Svander up towards the line. He goes 3rd for 120.7. PX4's up next. This is a long off as well. Beautiful livery there for the American. Brian, he was on the mediums. I think a lot of people have done a lap on the mediums then. Look at these shots though. Beautiful. Down the mountains. Or through the mountains. Down the hill. Oh, Joe's had a spin. I believe that's on the exit of turn 6. What happened here for the Brit? Let's see. The camber. Yep, throttle on too soon. Tiny bit too soon, but it's enough to send him spinning. Saves it nicely into a pirouette, but nonetheless still spinning. Right, round the final 2 turns again. Zen really clean through here last time. Really had it planned to bin to the pit lane. It looks like he's going to cover and he's going to slap on some fresh tyres. Joe a bit scruffy through the penultimate turn. Probably could have pushed a bit more and into the pit sequence as well. Svander going really wide, carrying a lot of speed. I think a lot of them into pits now. Svander feels like he's improving, going up towards the line. For the Dutchman, he will improve. He will go 2nd with a 19.7. Neither Sick. I think Sick may have pitted, and Hardcore can't improve either. Further down, Tim's on an outlap after pitting, so is JD. So a lot of them halfway into the session still not set a proper lap. Tim, everyone's favourite Canadian, eyeing up a flying lap here, yet to set a time. There's quite a lot of them that haven't actually. A good half the grid. Sick hasn't set a representative lap time either, as he's going through turn 6 where he span last time out. His tyres are not going to be in the best of shape, so maybe it's just ideal he comes in and then gets on some fresh tyres and just goes for it there. Svander through turn 9. You can hear the tyres screeching, dipping onto the gravel. Is it? They're probably wishing the curb came a bit sooner. But it's these compromises you have to make. Zen still on provisional pole by 10th. 19.5 is the benchmark. Phil a 121.7. I think that will can't actually tell what that will put him. Oh, 4th. Zen then, he's on a fly. Zen's about to start a flyer. Hardcore goes 4th with a 21.5. So a lot of people haven't actually set a lap time yet. We just try and see who else. JD, Tim. So he's come around final 2 turns. See JD in the background going onto the gravel a bit, keeping as close to the wall on the right hand side as he can, up towards the line for Tim. This is going to challenge for pole, but where will it put him? He goes 4th. JD's going purple. He goes top by 2.5 tenths. A quarter of a second to 19.3, the new benchmark. Wouldn't be impressed if he can get a pole. What is Sick doing there? As he moves in towards Tim. What happened there? Now, was that malicious, angry? No. Oh, he just didn't see Tim coming because he gets out of the way. But why is he on the racing line? Yeah, there's the apology. It's unfortunate for him. JD, Ariel. 19.3, 19 milliseconds behind JD. So going to the final 3 minutes, they still have a couple of laps left in them. Some may be able to get 3 out here, and some may just pit and get that fresh set of rub on just for the final stint. We know Ariel can improve. Ariel does have pace, current championship leader. Currently not improving, maybe on a bit of a cooldown, but right now as it stands, JD Provisional pole yet to get a win. Zen up towards the line. Can he improve? No, he can't. Half second off. Svander in the Corvette for Helix. He's ready to go for his probably penultimate flying lap. He's currently signed 4th. Good result last week. Close to the podium, I think. Can't quite remember the results from last week. Fridge 7th with a 20.4. Brian was fastest in practice. He's currently down in 5th. He got 2 podiums early on, still chasing that first win. Around final 2 turns, there's a sloppy exit there by O'Brien's lucky not to follow him, but he's going to tow Brian all the way along. Then Ariel, can he improve despite that sloppy exit? No, he cannot. Only just, and Brian goes further on 19.3. He's now into the equation here. The top 3 separated by 400, so you just have to feel if it wasn't for that mistake by Ariel, he probably would be running provisional pole right now. So there is time for him. Oh, an Ariel! Oh, that's going to really ruin his tyres there. Through turn 3, I think that is. Yeah, and into the pits he goes, and he's not going to be able to get out front of... Oh, he may just get out for another lap, but he's going to be on high fuel. JD and Tim, they're bumping each other down. Ariel just goes out into the mediums. And I think Ariel's quali is just about done as JD, yeah, he's just creating some space, letting everyone through. Good guy, Jerome. Svander start his final flying lap up towards the line. Can he improve? His tyres are looking in relatively good shape. He can't quite. Fridge doesn't improve either despite the tow. Zen now down in 4th, the early championship leader. Tim, he goes 8th for 20.6. 6 just behind a 20.7 through the middle sector. Up towards turn 5, sorry, I've been calling this turn 6, turn 5. Joe into the pits as well. JD's just started his final flying lap as he comes through turn 1. He's got Hardcore up ahead of him. JD a lot quick for him as Hardcore's down in 11th. Yeah, Hardcore's 2.2 seconds off JD, so JD is almost definitely going to catch him at some point. If that might hamper his run. There's PX4 off into the gravel. Can we see what happened with him? In towards turn 1. Just deep, can't get the car turned in time. But JD, your provisional pole man. Brian, 4/10 off. Ariel won't get another go. The best Ariel can manage is second here. Brian's bailed out of this lap. Brian won't be improving. Can Zen improves? He comes up towards the line then. He may just about get one more lap in here. He's not going to improve. He's a long way off, and I think at this point his tyres are spent, but he will get one more chance anyway. Svander through the final 2 turns. He's pulled away. I think he's improving. He's pulled away from Fridge, so he's going to deny Fridge a tow, but the checkered flag is out. First person to take it. Svander will improve into 5th. Fridge next. Cannot improve. The best he can manage is 7th. Just looking through, you see Sick coming up towards the line. Can he improve? He does. He goes 8th for 20.4. JD up towards the line. He improves again by half a tenth to a 19.2. Ariel parked it. Brian going slow. He's not going to get another lap in. What can Joe do through the final 2 turns? Sorry, yeah, now he's coming to the final 2 turns. Probably can carry a lot more speed through there, I must say. But up towards the it's an outlap for Joe. And I think for the first time ever, and I say this is a think, as Phil comes up towards the line, he's not going to challenge it. I believe it's safe to say, unless Tim has a miracle. No, he does not. JD is on pole here at Sardenga as he still chases first win. Disappointment out in Suzuka, where he spun twice more slow spin. Surely would have won on a 1 stop. We know he's a master of strategy. His starts haven't been the best though. I believe he's going to be starting on the mediums, and he is on pole for the first time in his GTEL career, I believe. JD puts it on pole, followed by Ariel, who's known for a good start. Someone who's known for a good start as well, but didn't get one last week out in Brands Hatch on the mediums. KMO Brian, he starts 3rd. Zen 4th. Zen's actually... I think this is an outlap anyway, so it doesn't matter. There's a lot of traffic. But yeah, outlap for Zen. So JD on pole here at Sardenga. Top 3 all within a 10th feature. Then you drop back to Zen, Svander, half a tenth behind him. He will start on row 3. Joe, 6th, 7th is Fridge, running out the top 8, sick. Tim, he's starting on the mediums. You know, his quality pace isn't always the best. His race pace is normally better. He starts 10th. Sorry, he starts 9th, PX4 10th, Hardcore 11th, and Phil in 10th. So then, round 5 of the GTEL Division 2 Championship is here in the Sardenga Mountains for the first time in our 3-season long campaign. JD's on pole for the first time in his career, followed by Peter White, Aerial Division 2 Championship leader. Brian, who's known for his good starts, got 2 podiums this season. He's looking for another one. He starts 3rd. Zen, 4th, duo Championship leader. The lights going on then, 4 lights, 5 lights. We're ready to go racing here at Sardenga. And we are away. Looks like it's a quick start there by Svander down in 5th as everyone gets away well. JD's at a poor start. Aerial, he takes the lead. Zen's up in 2nd. Svander's challenging to get into the top 3. But the top 5 all breakaways go down towards turn 1 then. Zen down the inside trying to challenge. It's a very late launch. He pushes Aerial right out of the way and Svander's going to try and open up a gap here. Zen leads after a bit of a controversial turn 1 as we go through the first sector. Svander 2nd. Brian pushing Svander, they're off track a bit as he gets in towards 2nd. I think down in 7th there, that's Joe. I not per move, he's now into 6th. But Zen leads, followed by Brian, Svander, JD in 5th as he goes down the inside of 6th for 4th. Joe, really big launch there. Gets himself up into 5th, but JD tries to make up for his poor start. But Aerial is down in 7th and Tim is trying to fight him there as they go up towards turn 8. Well, that start might be looked at there by the stewards later on. Zen, that's really optimistic launch there, but Brian right onto the back of him already. Oh, we've come through the final sector then for the first lap. It was been a chaotic start already here at Sardenga. They come through the final 3 turns then. Let's see what it's like racing through this bit. Brian a bit cautious there. Oh, I think there was a bit of contact with Svander as he was really cautious. Is anyone going to be pitting for damage? But at the end of lap 1 then, Zen leads from Brian. Svander, they're going to go side by side. Svander ahead before the turn 1 entrance. But Brian's going to have the inside line, going to try and fight it back here. This is going to allow JD to close up a bit, but Brian dipping a wheel off the curb there, and I think that's Brian this round. Brian is off. Brian's off at turn 1, and it gets even more chaotic. He's got to try and avoid getting back onto the track. That promotes JD into 3rd and Joe's right to the back of him. Joe had a really good start. Already opening lap. Aerial now on 6th. Let's have a look what happened there with Brian. Won't let me. God damn it, the replay won't work. Joe's eyeing up a move here onto JD round the outside. Joe's got a lot of closing speed, but JD with the inside line through turn 8 now. Joe will be comfortably ahead, but JD's going to try and fight it around the outside. Brilliant battle, he gets onto the gravel, and Sick there gets pushed off as well for the fall zone, and he hits Aerial. He hits the championship leader. Aerial hasn't got damage from that, thankfully, but JD's now picked up a penalty. He's going to have to serve it round this penalty zone here, and that's going to really lose him ground as Svander and Zen pull away as Svander chases his first win in GTEL, and Joe chases his first podium, but JD, he's going to have to serve it on the exit of his final turn, and he does, and there goes all of his speed. And Aerial goes flying back up into 4th as he tries to close down from the early misfortunes. But Svander, brilliant racing so far here through on as we go on to lap 3. Bails out, tries to find a gap on the inside maybe for a bit of a switchback, no, but Svander actually got a really good run out of turn 1 as we come through the S's at 2 and 3. Long left-hander at 3, side by side. Svander tries to go, but no gap opens up at turn 4. He backs up really close to the Polishman. And Svander's really wanting this race lead here. But brilliant defending skills by Zen. And now within a second it is Joe, and you see JD in the background as look at all these cars, they pile down the hill up towards turn number 8. Svander's wanting this race lead here. You can see at 1.2 seconds that gap's gone up between 3rd as everyone else. Nice crane shot here as Tim's up in 6th already. Hardcore 7th, PX4 8th, and Fridge dropped down to 9th. No damage for Sick as we look down. Phil's already got a penalty as well. Brian's on an outlap, so Brian had to pit. So Brian picked up damage from his spin at turn 1, and there's been quite a few instances already. As we end lap 3, Svander gets such a good run, but Corvette versus Corvette, base setup, so everyone's got the same setup. In the toe here, you'd expect Svander to have the same straight, to get a bit more straight line speed in the toes. He's going to try and go, he's going to have the inside line for the first little kink up towards turn 1. We go Svander down the inside, then he's going to try and fight it around the outside here. But Svander then is your new race leader here. And Joe, within that second margin, and Ariel is closing down as well. But Svander, your new race leader here on lap number 4. This has been an exciting race already. Let's have a quick look at tyres then. Softs for Svander, mediums for Zen. So Zen, having solid pace despite being on the slower tyre. It's softs for Joe, softs for Ariel, mediums for JD. JD and Ariel may look to go for a one-stop. We know those two can do that. JD's pace has fallen off a fair bit now. He's 2.7 seconds off that lead group. But he's on mediums. Tim's on mediums. Softs for Hardcore, softs for Sick, mediums for Fridge, softs for Brian, and mediums for Phil. Brian's already pitted though, and I think Phil's already pitted as well. So both of them already, Phil and Brian, use both sets of tyres. We know Brian started on the mediums. But Svander's starting to bridge a bit of a gap, and Joe's catching up to him as well. And Ariel there as well. So, up towards turn 1 we go then. Zen's looking to lose a few places here. I must say, up towards turn 1, how close is Joe going to be in towards the braking zone? Let's find out. Up towards turn 1 we go then. Is Joe going to think about a bit of a send? Here he is. Zen leaves him for space there, making up for his mistake earlier, but good respectful racing there. But now this is allowing Svander 1.4 seconds. He's almost definitely going to go for the standard 2-stop. But Zen really just parking on the apex of turn 4 there, you have to feel. Going really slow. This might allow JD to just close in 2.8 seconds back. He's and Joe slips right through then. Zen knows he's on the slower tyre, but he needs to try and stay with these lot. As we look fuel-wise, another Corvette is a master at guzzling fuel. And Ariel so far in a really good spot already. Almost definitely looking at a one-stop. 1.5 seconds is the lead, and they're going to try and fight it back. Down the inside, Zen goes at turn number 8. And then back again at 9. Joe again side by side constantly. And Ariel's now trying to find his way through on Zen. He's going to have to bail out of it. But 2 Corvettes versus a Porsche. Joe in second as they run through the final 2 turns then. Through 11 and 12. And Joe is now just going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. Look how close Zen is. We know the Corvette's got a lot of power. But that does come with burning fuel. But tucking the slipstream is going to be an easy move there for Zen. Can Joe fight back up towards turn 1 though? I think he's going to try. Zen leaves him the space on the outside. He's going to try and close door a bit. Door bashing a bit. But now Zen having to make a bit of a correction there. He loses a bit of momentum. And I think Ariel's going to try and fight back, as he takes a really tight line through turn number 3 up towards turn number 4. How close is he to go for a lunge? He teases it, but not quite close enough. But 2.7 seconds. Svander's really flying away with this here so far. Now, is Svander looking to be the 4th race winner this season from 5 races? The only person to actually win twice, I believe, is Ariel. They go down the hill, but Ariel's currently down in 4th. JD's in 5th. Tim 6th. Hardcore 7th. 2.6 seconds though. Look up the hill as Zen gets overtaken by Ariel. He clips his rear wheel, and Zen really riding dirty right now. He's going to want a good exit here despite being on the medium complex. On the slower tyre, and that's probably why he's been struggling. But what can Joe do? 3 seconds to gap to his who is Halik's teammate, Svander. So Halik trying to have a good outing, 1, 2, and 6 down and 8th as well. So triple point scoring and 2 on the podium as it stands. But Zen's going to try and fight back. Up towards turn 1. We've seen this before already. On lap 1, Zen's going to try and fight around the outside. No, he's going to try and go for a switchback. Brakes but early, tries to get the momentum. But he can't quite find the gap. He's having to bump draft a bit there. Onto the back of Ariel, up towards turn number 3. JD's closing back onto this gap, and JD's going to want to stay with them. He doesn't want to lose too far off the back of Svander. But Joe is closing in on Svander quite rapidly. And Ariel's bridged away from Zen a tiny bit. Zen on the slower compound of tyres, falling back just that tiny bit. But JD, being on the slower compound, I know for the one stop, he's in good range. If he can close into Zen, maybe even get past him, but at least within slipstream range, that'll be helpful. But he kind of needs to be close to Ariel, because Ariel will be on the mediums for his next stint if he's going for the one stop. And Ariel can make good pace on the mediums as well, so it's going to be something to watch out for. Zen dipping a wheel into the grass, but Ariel already close to the back of Joe, and this is going to benefit Svander. And 3 seconds of that gap goes away. So that first sec, but Svander's not the quickest, but through the rest of the lap he does pull away. And now a bit of a fight maybe about to go down again as Ariel is closing in on Joe quite rapidly, and this might allow Zen and JD to close up again as well. But Svander knows with people doing a one stop here, Svander having solid pace, he's maybe just asking Joe to hold the 2 up a bit, especially Ariel, who's going for the one stop, and he's going to want that gap there, as the one stop, if pulled off successfully, can gain you quite a lot of time. If it's the right person, and if you do have the right pace to manage it a long way, because Ariel's pace is staying with them, he's quicker than Joe last lap. On the same tyre, near 6 tenths quicker than Joe last lap, and he's saving fuel. And sitting in the back here really does help Ariel, but 1.1 seconds of the gap between JD and Zen as Germany versus Poland are going to eye themselves up again. Up the hill they go then, through the final sector. Look how close the gravel trap is, so close! Oh! There's a mistake there by Zen! Zen has made a mistake out of turn 10, or going up towards turn 10 out of turn 9, and the replay won't work. That's wonderful. I want the replay to work. Can we get a replay now? No, replay doesn't want to work. Up towards turn number 1 we'll go then. Side by side, Joe vs Ariel. The battle for second. Joe loses the place, but in towards the turn. Ariel's going to try and find a bit of a switchback there. He nearly does actually get the rotation into the car to find his way through. Up towards turn 3 we go. The battle for second continues, and this is going to help Svander bridge the gap. Ariel's really close. He's going to fancy moving towards turn 4. No, he won't, but a lunge was on the cards there, maybe, if he was feeling it, but we know Ariel's a respectful racer, not doing moves that Zen does, but JD got the easiest pass in his life on him. And Zen maybe looking at some penalties later, depending on the protest, but Ariel has made a good comeback after dropping 7th on lap 1. So, through the final sector again, it's such a short lap as well here, so expect something like Brands Hatch. Near enough looking at the same times, maybe even a bit quicker here. Expect around about 43 laps here. There's going to be a lot of them as we're already approaching the 10th lap here. I know Svander is very nearly on the on lap 10. He's already come up to lap someone, I think. So, as there's Svander in the distance, Joe and Ariel again up towards turn number 1. Ariel comfortably ahead. He's going to cover the inside line this time. Is Joe going to fancy move? You can see his car twitch, but he was fancying going down the inside, but couldn't quite get it done. But Joe's going to want to fight Ariel a bit here, try and help his teammates. Ariel's right now has got some brilliant pace. Probably has the fastest lap of the race. Last lap, 4 tenths slower than Svander though, but we know he can be quicker, and now he's in clean air. He may just pull away from Joe, so Joe's going to want to have to challenge this a bit. 2.7 seconds off the back of him is JD, who's looking like a one-stop medium. And already through the first sector. Ariel is pulling some time out of... Oh, there's a late-looking lunge there by Joe, but Ariel's pulling some time out of out of Svander here, who's currently the lead Corvette driver for Helix. With a PTY driver and championship leaders trying to become trying to get 3 wins this season. Oh, very wide there. That's going to really hamper him. He's going to lose a fair chunk of time. Actually didn't lose that much with the amount of speed he ended up carrying through there, but he's pulled 6 tenths to Joe then this lap. Half second off his best, but 6 tenths quicker than Svander, even with the mistake. And with all this, Joe as well is slowly closing in. As JD's losing time as well now, as Joe's just been able to pull himself along a bit here. And now JD's going to hope that these lot all catch up to Sardenga quickly and start squabbling. Sardenga's not going to give up this race lead easy. He's also on the soft compound tyres, Zen's 4 seconds down, and Tim running in 6th. He's running quite well on the mediums. And fuel-wise, a lot of people are looking quite good. Aero's looking good for a one-stop. Joe could find half a lap and maybe go for a one-stop as well and bring himself with these lot. Because a two-stop, I think, is just going to lose too much time to really challenge for the race win. So if he does change up his game plan a bit here, a one-stop could be on the cards for Joe as well. JD, he needs to find just under half a lap of fuel as well if he wants to do a one-stop. Zen a bit twitch in the background, he's nowhere near. And just look down, a lot of people have been able to manage their fuel quite nicely, but 2.4 seconds now. Ariel is hunting down Sardenga, and Ariel's already pulled a bit of a gap to Joe as well. A 19.7 last lap, nearly a whole second quicker. As Phil gets out of the way there, yes, Sardenga's nearly half a second quicker then. Sorry, I'm waffling. Oh, Phil, tyre screech there. So Sardenga's nearly a whole second slower than Ariel. As more traffic's coming Phil's way, he's going to have to get out of his way for Joe here. Blue flag still going, and he does. JD 2.7 seconds off. How far of the lead? He's 6 seconds off the lead. But he needs to be close to Ariel. I mean, when Ariel's on the medium, he's going to have to hope that the time difference is that much bigger. JD right now, he's lapping the same time as Ariel, who's on the softs. So there's not much drop off between the mediums and the softs. JD's now approaching Phil as well, who's currently down in 12th. Looking down, if anyone has pitted Fridge on the mediums, PX4, yeah, PX4 has damage. That's not very good for the American. And now the gap's down to 1.7. Sardenga is very much being hunted, and into the pit lane comes JD. So JD's on a very different strategy. We've seen this before. I think he did this near enough. No. Where did JD do this? Was it last time out he did this? Pitch just about a 15-minute mark. And what's he planning for now then? He's maybe going a bit of a short stint on the mediums. The tyre life on the softs right now. Ariel's managing them nicely, but everyone else, we know JD, he can manage it. It's going to be interesting to see what JD does now. He should go on to the softs, but where does JD come out? JD's come out at 9th. He's got 5 seconds until he meets Fridge. Now, Fridge is looking about 2 seconds a lap slower, and he's currently very close to 6th, so that might be a bit of a battle, and JD may just be closing up to him a lot quicker than he would like. But maybe in a couple of laps, Fridge will be into the pits anyway, and that's maybe what JD's hoping, that he gets the undercut on everyone else who's going for the 2-stop, but then he can save fuel and still have a very similar pace. And let's see the time gain then. Sardenga leads, Ariel leads. Sardenga's had a mistake somewhere in this lap actually. He's lost a lot of time. This lap is incredibly slow. Maybe it was their contact, so let's see if we can... No, we're not going to be able to see what happened because apparently it doesn't want to work. So... no replays for the whole race, I guess. Yep, no replays on the work. So Ariel leads 2.4 seconds already, that gap is. Zen into 4th, and Sardenga gonna be battling away here. JD's gone to the softs. Now 6 into the pits. He's next to break. JD. Let's see what the gap is then. Let's see. Fridge has stayed out. What tyres does Sick go on to? Brian pitted a lot early. Brian's got damage, so what was a really good qualifying for him. He qualified 3rd. He's gone right down the order here. And away goes the Helix Jaguar of Sick onto the mediums then. I think he's the 5th person to use both compounds of tyre, or 2 different compounds, as the hards are available. but it's very likely that they're going to be Svander and Joe. And the top three all consist of blue, white and red in their flags. Maybe that's going to be a bit of a pattern in this race here. Maybe Fridge is going to get himself up onto the podium. Up towards turn one we go, Joe and Svander. Tim into the pits for on the mediums. He's currently running 5th. Hardcore as well, and JD, he got past Fridge. Fridge picked up damage, so that may have actually been quite an easy move there for JD again. I don't think he would have lost too much time there, thankfully, unless maybe there was a bit of contact with him, which then is no good for JD. But JD doesn't look to have damage. But anyway, Fridge, Hardcore, and Tim into the pits. Tim should be the first to leave. He's currently on the mediums. Yes, Tim goes away on the softs. Hardcore goes away onto the medium, so Hardcore and then Fridge will have damage to repair as well. But he should go on to the softs unless he's wanting to do 2 stints on the mediums, but he does not. Fridge becomes the 7th person to use both compounds of tyre. Joe and Svander then, P1 and 2 into the pits. And now let's see, where will JD come? This is important. Will Zen pit as well? Zen stays out, I think. Ariel stays out as well. Where will these lot come out then? Will JD get the jump on him? JD's... Remember, he had the undercut, but I think JD's on a slightly different strategy. I don't think he's going to go for the 2-stop here. Joe has the fuel advantage as well, so he should get the jump on Svander, and he does. They both full tank it to the brim, probably not needed, but Joe and Svander then, they both come out, but Joe has jumped Svander in the pits, and JD has jumped them both with the undercut, and he's actually got 8 seconds on them. 29 seconds is the gap between JD and the leader. Last lap then, JD personal best. He was quicker than Ariel, so he's gaining on Ariel. He's gonna want, depending on what JD does, he's gonna want to be a good 15 seconds ahead. Zen will come into the pits as well, so JD won't have to worry about him. And let's see how much time you actually lose in the pit lane then. When you do have to full tank it, Zen's pretty much spent. He's gone a lap extra. Trying to drag this stint out a bit after he hasn't had the best of stints, as he's kind of... Spano is going to go a bit longer. He goes another lap then. That's interesting for the Polishman. Further back, Fridge has jumped sick, despite damage. Brian's in 7th, managing damage. Not in the best ways. Times are a long way off. JD, personal best lap again. Nearly a whole second quicker than Ariel. So, that is good news for JD fans here. He's closing down on Ariel. Hello, Ento. Oh, now JD's got brilliant pace. And if he can keep this up for the whole stint, however long he goes, if he's going to the 30-minute mark, maybe JD's thinking about going a bit longer, maybe... Well, if JD goes for 20 minutes, he'll take to about 25, and... It's going to be interesting to see what JD does. I'm sure we've seen him do it before, but it gets me every time. I'm sure we will be remembering this stint, this strategy, if he does one. It's very much like the Ruben Trickaroo strategy from Le Mans. 28 seconds, that gap's going down. Oh, Ariel, right, Zen into pits. He's 16 seconds off the leader. He is now literally at an empty tank, which is about what we'll be expect to see from Ariel when he pits in about 6.5 minutes time. So JD across the line, fastest lap for him then. He bags in a 19.3. Ariel has responded with a 20.2, so still another 9 tenths gain though. But then on the mediums, he's gone fairly long on this stint, which is kind of what you'd expect people to do on on for mediums, aim to go a bit longer, but softs then for Zen, he's the 10th person. We're just waiting on Ariel and PX4, who's PX4 going to try and one-stop this. If he does, that's really impressive from him. But Ariel, 27 seconds, JD going purple again, Zen, 16 seconds was the gap. Oh, he's lost a lot of time and he hasn't even full tanked it. That's a lot of time you lose in the pit lane there. Do some quick math, that's about 35 seconds that Zen's lost, and JD, well, this is going to be close then. He's going to have to really put the foot down a bit more than he is. I know Ariel can respond. Up towards the line then, it was a 20.2 last lap for the championship leader. So another second taken out of him then. And Ariel will be on the mediums for the next stint as well. And right now, JD's brilliant pace. Let's see how Ariel can respond. Oh, that was nearly disastrous for Ariel. Already a second off to his personal best. Big moment there through turn 8 for him. He's gonna need less of them. A spin there. It's so easy to spin it with the camber, and he dips wheels onto the grass again, but it actually gains him time there. But he's not gonna really want to recreate that again. But into the pit lane then comes Ariel. Ariel goes early. Ariel responds to the time that JD's gaining, and he knows he's going to try and go 34 minutes, I feel, on these mediums. Knowing the tyres can go a bit longer, but what is JD's plan then? He's got half a tank fuel. JD might be able to push it to a 20-minute mark here, and may have done quite a brilliant two-stop here. But what is going to be the gap then? Ariel, 20... He's still got a quarter of a tank left, so he's not going to lose as much time as Zen. And away he goes on 50% fuel, and they're going to be side by side here for this come out as JD takes the lead of this race here, and Ariel's going for the Reuben. Ariel has half tanked it, and in 15 minutes, Ariel's going to take these mediums for 15 minutes. And now, speaking of the Reuben, he's doing the funky two-stop as well, and these two may just be racing each other all the way to the end, but he's on the mediums. They are fresher by about 10 minutes, but right now JD's really in the zone. So, can JD break the toe and just pull away from Ariel? Because that's really what he needs to do. He can't let Ariel get into his toe, because then he'll just sit there. Right now, JD, he's got to be feeling... He's got to have some confidence here, but this may be quite a good race come the end of this, as if you don't know what the Reuben plan is, again, twitch out of turn 8 for Ariel. The car not looking stable through there. Reuben looked like he was going to do the first ever one-stop in GTEL. He went 30 minutes on a tank of fuel, then put half a tank in, and then went 10 minutes, and it completely jumped everyone, because he spent half as much time in the pit lane as he needed to, because his pace, if you have the pace to do a one-stop, it is really good. Instead of risking the one-stop, go for it, because you do gain a good 15 seconds by spending less time in the pit lane. But right now, JD's pulling away, and JD's medium stint, then this shows how good his medium stint was. Because if you're losing this much time on mediums, as we saw Zen struggle, but once the tyres gets heat into him, Ariel may just be able to find his own. But heating the tyres, so yeah, maybe there was a fairly big gap between the mediums and soft, and JD was just really quick on the mediums end. And if JD gets his first win, Villet gets his first pole, and had fastest lap, full 18 points, that would be brilliant for him. So that gap now dips at that 2-second mark. Ariel, again, twitchy on the curb, not as much as the past two times through. But Svander, he is third on, he takes the final podium spot right now as we approach the halfway mark. He leads his teammate Joe. Zen's down in 5th. And Tim's chasing someone else who started on the softs. He's currently chasing Zed, who's 10 seconds up the road, so not really going to gain much time on them. Svander and Jovo are on the medium, so maybe Zen. Where is Zen? Zen's only 5 seconds off the back of these two, so a podium for Zen's not out the question yet. If he can find the time and push through the final 11 minutes of the stint. But right now, 2.3 seconds gap for JD, half second quicker than Ariel last lap. It's a calm and composed man, married a couple weeks ago. Here's a kid and another one on the way. It's a pair, and he knows how to be cool. He knows how to be cool, calm and composed. This man is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in sim racing. He rarely gets angry, he's hilarious, and right now, he's showing that calmness. There's still 30 minutes to go, but so far, dipping wheel on the grab there. Still showing some solid pace here as well. Takes a bit of time out of him through this middle sector. JD is married. If you want to see, that massive red thing says just married. And completely on the other side of the spectrum, single, ready to mingle, here's Tim. He's 40, and he's Tim's a nice guy, he's hilarious. GTEL's full of wonderful people. Ariel's quiet, Ariel rarely speaks. Svander's nice. Fridge and Brian are going at it. Up towards turn 9. But yeah, everyone, really nice person except Brian. But you just have to feel what sort of pace, when the car gets lighter, come the end of the... Actually, no, yeah, Ariel's going to the end here. Oh, wait, no, he's not. I do apologise. When Ariel gets onto the source, when the car's feeling lighter, what can Ariel do? What kind of pace can they do? Because right now, their soft runs, JD is the quicker man. He was quicker in qualifying. There was less than a 10th in it. But nonetheless, Ariel's mistake in quali as well put him on second. JD didn't have the best of start either. So now that gap's approaching 3 seconds, and JD just looks comfortable. Svander, he's also pulling a gap to his teammates. He's wanting that, I believe, his first podium. But in the background, you see a little Polish man, Zen. Zen, he's chasing. Through turn 1 they go. .9 seconds is the gap between these two. Further back, Svander, 2 seconds gap between him and his teammate. He's starting to find his rhythm. Last lap, 2 tenths quicker than his teammate. And Zen a 10th quicker than Svander in third. The battle for third. Oh, it's getting spicy here at Sardenga. And I can almost certainly say we'll be coming back here with how good this race has been. We're only halfway through. Just to sprinkle some bad news onto things, JD. He's got a habit of bottling it though, hasn't he? That win has been, he's got countless podiums, but that win's always been a fair bit away from him. As last lap then, by the skin of his teeth, Ariel quicker than JD. We know JD, maybe his tyre's going off a tiny bit now as he's approaching the end of his stint. Ariel's going to be pitting us again as well, but Ariel, saving fuel, Ariel might be aiming to go with 15 minutes to go, which means he only has to take half tank fuel, which means he's not losing that much. And JD's going to have to put his foot down even more here, and I think it's going to be close between JD and Ariel at the end of this. But right now, with that thought in mind, with Ariel saving fuel here, he's not going to be able to go to the end, but Ariel definitely the longer Ariel can push this, while staying with his gap with JD, that's what he needs to do, showing good pace on the mediums as well, but JD fresh softs, he's going to be taking a good second out of him, and it's going to be incredibly close then. And if JD pits now, you're looking about losing 35 seconds. He will come out and clean air, he'll be... Oh, he may just come out just ahead of Tim. Zenvo's gaining on Joe here. They expect to move up towards turn 1, I feel. Zen tucked into the back van of Joe. Pulls to the inside line. He's going to the inside line for his little King Cup here. And when it's going to be all Zen. Yep, Joe's not going to really be able to fight back, I don't feel. Oh, he does though. He clips his back wheel. That's what Zen did to Ariel on lap 1. But Zen then into 3rd. Joe's going to try and fight. Sorry, Zen into 4th. Joe's going to try and fight back. And Brian just stuck right to the back of this here. And now Joe's just going to try and keep Zen at bay, or at least try and battle him a bit as he's closing. As Zen is closing in on his teammate Svander. You can see thinks for moving to turn number 8, goes a bit deeper. This is going to allow Brian, the back mark, to actually close up on him. Brian's going to try and unlap himself here. Round the outside and contact. Now that's not good. Ariel into the pit lane then. Ariel was attempting to get the undercut on JD here. And this is smart by Ariel. Ariel could have gone long, but Ariel's playing the mind games here, and now JD's going to have to absolutely respond. As he's now red lighted it, Ariel's got more fuel in his tank. He's going to spend a lot less time in the pits here. And Ariel, this is even smarter by him. He's going to get the jump here on JD, I feel, in the pits, unless JD severely underfuels it. But Ariel comes out 74% fuel. He took 50% fuel then. And where does Ariel come out? Ariel's going to have to deal with some traffic here, but he's not right onto the back of them. Which I'm sure he's going to be absolutely happy about. If he was right onto the back of them, well, that would be gutting. But JD, he's going to be in this lap then. And we're going to have quite a nice battle going on at the end here. And they're just going to... I think all JD fans going to be hoping that he catches on to this battle as Zen's going to try and go for a move off the inside of Svander. Svander holds on brilliant. Oh, I thought he was about to hold on brilliantly on the brakes, but not quite. Ariel. 6 seconds to gain on Joe, and you just feel like Joe's going to be pitting. Oh, Joe won't be pitting before then. Joe's got a lot of fuel in the car, actually. Joe's going to go a long way here. Joe might be trying to make... No, Joe won't make his fender. I do apologise. JD, he's going again. JD trying to push this as long as he can, and now last lap for him, a 20.6 or a 120 flat. It's comfortable for him, and Brian and Joe are going at it here. Brian's a back marker, and Joe's really losing time. But Joe's definitely going to try and make it to the end here, so he's going to have to deal with it here. The gap, 31 seconds. It's going to be close. And Ariel's going to be flying. But he's going to be catching onto the back of this Joe Brian fight, and that can just cause some havoc. But I think JD's going to end up being a good about 4 seconds off the back here. Maybe a bit less. It's going to be bitterly close, whatever the gap is. Brian, no, I think Brian would have repaired the damage by now, yes. Into the pit lane then comes the race leader, Zen. He will be going a bit longer as all. Svander catching the gravel as well. Ariel, 31 seconds. JD completely out of fuel. So he's timed that masterfully. But he's coming through the final sector then. JD, what fuel is? He's going to be about 70% fuel. That's 20% more than Ariel took, because he was on 20%. He took 50% fuel. Into the pit zone comes Svander as well. Into the pit end comes Joe, and that's not good news, as there was probably hoping that Joe would drop onto the back, but Ariel will go past, and there goes JD, and that gap is going to be about 4 seconds come the end of it, up towards turn 1. It's approaching 3 seconds now. JD's going to have to get his foot right down here. He does have, however, the fresher rubber, and on paper, he has been the quicker driver, but a 19.5 last lap. It's all to play for here, and JD, the race runs on softs quicker. The quali run on softs quicker. 3 seconds to make up. This is going to go right down to the end, and I think a few people are just going to be a slightly bit annoyed that Joe pitted there, as Joe really could have helped JD out. Just that tiny bit. Ariel still has Zen to deal with, and Zen is going to be pitting soon. I don't think that gap's quite there, but where's Brian? Well, Brian will be a back mark. He'll have to get out of the way, but Brian is going to be coming up to getting lapped very soon by Ariel. 2.7 seconds. JD's already hunting him down. And this is just getting excited. There's a massive grin on my face as I don't think we're going to have a race quite this close yet with a track that good for overtaking. We had it at Suzuka. Suzuka was a brilliant race, but dirty air around that track wasn't the best. But around here, 19.7 last lap for Ariel. JD with his out lap, you can't really tell, so this lap will really see the pace. Ariel can see Brian. Spa, Hayden, yeah, Spa and seasonal was the closest finish we've ever had. No, there was a second in that because of the penalty afterwards, but right now, 20 minutes to go. It's a long way, and Tim's in 4th, but he's going to have to pit again. But Ariel coming up to lap Brian then. Ariel loses a tiny bit of time there through turn number 10. Yeah, Ariel losing a fair bit of time to Brian here again, and this is going to do JD some wonders. Ariel then gets past JD. Look at that time loss. He's lost nearly half a second. And then hardcore's there as well as Brian holds up Ariel a bit, and that could be protested at the end of this, but hardcore's there as he's just come out of the pit, so now JD's going to have to contend with not one car but two. The last lap, nearly a second quicker, I think. No, 4/10 quicker as hardcore gets out of the way nicely, and just going to have to hope Brian gets out of the way as well. 2 seconds is the gap. My favourite GTEL race? I don't know. I actually don't know. Probably this. This is where Ariel held up Brian last time. He's not quite as close, so he may just get him on the straight here. Oh, I don't know. It's close. It's nervy. Through the final 2 turns then. And JD then gets that toe as well. Zen into the pit lane. His fuel tank's absolutely dead, but then JD, he's gained even more time as Ariel's hit more traffic. Look at this. Out of the pit comes Phil. And Ariel is now, traffic's really on doing him. Oh, there's contact! Phil, get out of the way! Phil really blocks Ariel there. And for the second time this season, Phil's cost Ariel a bit. And this might be a bit more than the race. This is for the race win here. And JD's now rounded back from his traffic problems, really. Oh, that is heartbreak for Ariel and JD now. He's had to do minimalist work there. JD might have to buy Philip beer after this. But up towards turn 8, JD, he's got 16 minutes to get a move. And this is about to be some pretty epic racing. JD and Ariel. Ariel now, though, is going to be a bit angry with that. He's lucky not to get damaged, but Phil's certainly going to get a warning for that. 6/10. Within slipstream range now. It's a long straight here with a brilliant overtaking opportunity. Up towards turn 1 we go. JD lost a bit of time to traffic as well there, I think. But now they've got some clean air. Oh no, they don't. They're sick, and sick being a German. Well, there's been quite a few German runners. I think Germany is the most successful country in GTL. Through the first sector we go. There's 15 minutes of this as well. Down the hill they go. Then, oh, who's that in the background? As Sick just rams Brian off the road. Well, that was not very polite. My favourite race may actually be Spa Division 2 from last season. It's Spa in the wet. That Casey podium was memorable. And I believe that's actually where we are next spot. Let's find out. There's Ariel's put a bit of time between himself and JD this lap. 2 attempts quicker. As Ariel close to that fastest lap, and JD's gonna have to put his foot down a bit here if he wants to challenge for this win. Up next, Red Bull Ring, and that is in the wet. Red Bull Ring in the wet. Maybe the dirt, yeah, not doing JD any good around here. He's gonna have to try and find a way to combat it, put his foot down and gain some time here. Speaking of gaming time, let's just bang in the purple first sector. Maybe JD's just trying to force Ariel into a bit of a mistake here. He knows he's got the fresher tyres. Their fuel should last to the end. And JD maybe just waiting to pounce. He doesn't want to let Ariel just sit there. He knows he can respond if he needs, and that's what he's done this lap. But he may just save it to the final lap where accidents can't happen and he can just wait where he won't get another chance. But again, for this final sector, JD just loses a lot of time, and again, another 10th Ariel will pull out here. Just through that final sector, then along the straight as well. JD's at risk of falling out of slipstream range. He's gonna have to really find something through this through the final sector, or he's just gonna struggle through along that straight, and then it's just gonna be problematic for the German. Svando at the back, he's in third and side by side as we got towards turn 1. Zen in the battle for fourth with Joe. Joe's got the inside line. Zen, he's been a bit reckless today. And Joe, oh, there we go, onto the gravel. You kind of just saw that coming between those two. Back to the lead of the race, though. Bit of a mistake there out of turn 8. Again, Ariel twitchy. But right now his pace, absolutely magical. Ariel putting his foot down here through this final stint. 12 minutes to go. He's trying to be the first to win back-to-back races this season. And JD trying to become the 4th race winner this season. Personal best lap again for Ariel as he closes down. But last lap, JD bangs in a purple. He doesn't gain much time though, as Ariel very close. I think that would have been fastest lap if it wasn't for JD improving. through with the crane shot at turn number 8. That gap is staying at about a second. JD, I don't doubt he's probably got more. Well, they're both on the limit. They're both pushing fastest laps. Oh, I don't know. Who's gonna win this? 10 minutes to go. Again, through that final turn, JD loses so much time, and now he's out of slipstream range. He's lost a lot of time just through that final turn and out of slipstream then, JD. Just doesn't have that straight line speed either to combat what that Corvette has. And it's not like Aero's going to be someone to make a mistake. Oh, hello. Never mind, scrap that. Here we go. Fridge up ahead. Who's with Fridge? Oh, that is Phil. Here we go again. Who's ready for round 2 of this? Maybe even, no, round 3. Oh, Phil's off. No traffic problems there, and I believe Fridge will get out of the way. JD's exit speed very similar, but it just does not have the power. But last lap better than Aerial by a 10th. Yeah, Vassal was Div 1. Yeah, Vassal was Div 1, but it was just that bad. He was nowhere near anything unless at Laguna Seca he put it on sync, which was quite impressive, and he fucked up his start. Oh well. This man is itching for his first win. He's been so far as the 2 Helixes going at it. And Zen comfortably in 3rd now. Yeah, I think Ariel does have this in. I think Ariel's probably going to win this. I think Ariel, their pace is just pretty equal, but Ariel has that tiny margin. In the likelihood of making a mistake, history shows that JD's more likely to make a mistake as well. So my money's on Ariel here. He's already got 2 races. He's got 2 race wins under his belt. JD hasn't won one yet. Statistically, you'd put your money on Ariel here. But traffic, then they approach again as JD bags in a purple first sector again. But JD's actually got to be a bit conscious of his fuel, and so has Ariel, to be fair. They both are looking very slim. They're going to have to be cautious in the battle for 4th, though. Svander down the inside at turn 1 of Joe, and Joe kind of has to back out there. And Fridge just gets out of the way nicely, and JD, will he close up? JD's going to lose a bit of time here. Being behind Fridge. Fridge, get out of the way. Oh, God, that is sloppy. Oh, JD nearly sent it into a bit of a donut there. Catching the rear. Look how much time Ariel's gaining through that section alone. And now Fridge is going to bump JD along. Nice guy from the Norwegian. JD last lap. 2 tenths slower. And now that gap's starting to open up a bit, but is Ariel pushing his fuel a bit too early? Is JD trying to bank on Ariel running out of fuel? Now that would be a first. these two cannot go full pelt. They do have to be a bit conservative as... Well, no, they can do it. But they're not quite at that 5-minute mark. Where we say each bar of the fuel thing you can see in the bottom of your screen is about 5 minutes each. It's about 20 minutes of fuel tank can go completely flat out, maybe a bit longer depending on how your driving style is. These two can go that tiny bit longer. But it's going to be close. JD, he's having a quick lap. You feel he's gaining time through the final bit. What can he do? I think JD, he's just saving fuel a bit and then up towards the line. He does slam it in. 2 attempts quicker last lap then for the German. As he gains on aerial. Now, the pace that they both have being pretty much equal, you just have to feel if aerial does end up losing this, the back markers have a huge toll to pay. Zen comfortably then in third. Well, depending on the time gap, Zen might be looking at penalty if anyone decides to protest for chaos. Again, losing 2 attempts, and JD's just got a bit more fuel than aerial. Wouldn't it be interesting if Zen won this? Yeah, 3 laps to go actually. These guys may have to pit again. Aerial sure shifting like a madman here. My math tells me they may get a 4th lap in. They are not pushing this, they're trying to make it to the end. But they hit the line, they may actually... If they do set 120s, they may get it with a second on the clock. As setting 119s, 120s with about, coming across the line about a 121, well, with 4 minutes 4 seconds to go. I mean, we'll see at the line this time round. They're going to want to be, I think it's about 240. Ideally, they want to be below 240. If they're above 240, they may be screwed a bit here. They're getting a 3rd lap in. There is no doubt about it. 3 laps to go. And the red lights just come on for aerial. They have 3 laps to go. They are getting 3 laps in. The tyres aren't the problem. The tyres are fine. But aerial's red lighting it. He's got to go 3 laps like this. Oh wow! And if you're Zen, you're just grinning at this. Oh, aerial is in the world of... Oh no, this is not good for either of these two. There goes JD's red line. And they've still got 2 laps to go here, and what the hell is this? This is gonna take an absolute world of fuel saving here. And at some point, naturally, it's gonna run out, and aerial's incredibly close here with 2 laps to go. They are gonna get, they're gonna get another lap in here, I think. Yeah, they are, unless they run out of fuel. And aerial, look how close that is. Millimeters, lap 44. We're gonna get 45 laps in, 2 laps to go. And I think JD's just going ultra fuel safe here to make it to the end. And Ariel might want to do the same here, because that line makes me nervous. As I think Ariel has done the same. JD's put his foot down a tiny bit here. He's closed the gap down massively, and Ariel's definitely stuck in 6th. Ariel knows this is. Ariel's struggling here, and JD's back within slipstream range. This is going to be the most exciting end to a race since Spa in Season 1. Ariel's fuel. Look how close this is. I can't decide. Ariel, I think, is going to run out here. JD's going to be incredibly close as well. JD. What did JD do here? Look how much JD's gaining. Ariel's just struggling here as they go on to the main straight. We're going to see the power then. What's their top speed going to be? How much does JD gain as well? Up towards turn 1 we go. Ariel's surely going to run out of fuel this lap. Up towards turn 1 we go. JD's got such closing speeds then. Up towards turn 1 we go. Around the outside, they're going to try and go. JD's into the lead. JD leads at Sardenga on the final lap of the race, and Ariel is just going to stick behind him here and try and save fuel to the end here. But that fuel line is so small, and JD's pulling away here. JD surely now is going to be favourite to win this, as Ariel's mismanaged his fuel the tiniest bit, and you just have to feel JD going those 2 extra laps where his fuel is looking minuscule. There's Zen taking 3rd as everyone else crosses the line. So Ariel can just be safe for 2nd here. But JD's now absolutely flying. You're freaking out. Oh, this is almost as good as Casey. This is better than Casey's podium. And JD, after managing his fuel absolutely beautifully, he pushed it those 2 extra laps. Those 2 extra laps have just won it, and there goes Ariel's fuel. Ariel is out. Ariel has ran out of fuel. But JD, married 2 weeks ago, he's waited 3 seasons, countless fuck-ups. JD wins at Sardenga. He is a race winner, and Ariel takes 2nd, and what a race that was. JD wins! Finally! There we go, he takes a sweep of 18 points, fastest lap, pole position, and the race win. He's a race winner in GTEL. JD, here at Sardenga, absolutely magical. Congratulations, my friend. Round of applause to you. And that was done when we was doubting him for going those 2 extra laps. Those 2 extra laps of him just absolutely pushing his fuel. We came into the pits for his 2nd stop, 0% fuel. He had pushed it to the limit, and that has won him the race. Congratulations, Ariel 2nd, ran out of fuel in the final sector, Zen 3rd, and a good battle all the way between Zen, Joe, and Svander. Tim gets 6th, gaining positions he always does in the race, Hardcore 7th, and Brian taking the final point. There may be some penalties coming anyone's way, except the top 2. Fridge 9th, PX 4, 10th, 6th, 11th, and Tim down in 12th. But JD's won. That is my favourite race ever, to answer your question, Vassal. Congratulations, JD. You are a race winner, my friend. I've been in, and thank you all for watching. I've got heartache after that race, and it's going to be heartbreak for Ariel. Join us next week, though, as we go to... join me tomorrow. Division 1 at Sardenga. It's going to be just as good, if not better. Can Ruben or Devil, can anyone beat them? Find out tomorrow, 7 PM British summer time, 8 PM European summer time. Until then, have a good evening. Thank you all, everyone, and congratulations.